Hi, my name is Peter, and this is going to be my comparative scene analysis. Today I'm going to be comparing movie Creed 2 and the game FigtNight Champion. A little background for Creed 2. This is the 8th film in the Rocky franchise. It's also the latest film in the Rocky franchise. The story involves in Donnie Creed fighting Victor Drago, the son of Ivan Drago, who's a boxer that took the life of Donnie's father, Apollo Creed, in the Rocky 4. And Rocky is obviously going to be coaching Donnie Creed during the fight. So for Finite Champion, this is the fifth and last entry for the Finite series. It took a pretty big turn, showing a more darker, greater settings with animation and player damage. The story is about a talented boxer, Andre Bishop, that is forced to overcome great conflicts, including prison sentence and a corrupted fight promoter. And the final fight is between Andre Bishop and Isaac Frost. And this is the scene I'll be comparing to, which is the final fight for both movie and the video game. And we're going to compare the difference and the similarities of lighting, camera, uh, the costume and coloring, and also the editing. So start with the lighting for Creed 2. It's a pretty much consistent dark tone environment, as you can see in the GIF. In the stadium, is very dark, with like dark blue lights, and even on the stage is brighter, but still overall dark environment. And this is actually a pretty big difference from the previous film, Creed 1. As you can see right here, is a lot more brighter environment in the boxing ring. And I believe the director did this because that Creed 2 overall, the story is a lot more darker and a very more important meaning behind it because it's about revenge. So I feel like bringing out the dark tone environment can show more of the seriousness and the darkness of the second film. The lighting for Fight Night Champion is pretty much a top light, and the lighting is mostly in the boxing ring. And this pretty much makes the audience noticeable, but mostly pretty dark. And this actually makes the player only focus on the fighters and not showing any distractions, so have a more enjoyable gameplay. So the editing for Creed 2, as you can see, there's different cuts from different angles, showing the actions, and this pretty much shows the actions and emotion of the characters. As you can see, as Creed and Drago exchanging punches, there's many quick cuts in between the two, and between different cuts, we see the emotions and the angerness of them as they're in heated exchangement. So also slow motion and close view of the character were used in as Apollo Creed was knocking down. The close view of the character shows the pain Apollo creates going through the slow motion. It's pretty much bring on more dynamic and more depth of the scene, and pretty much shows the how desperate he's trying to get up. For editing in Final Champion, in my opinion, there's really not that much editing during the fight because as a player you want a smooth gameplay. So pretty much it's just the fight itself with no that much editing at all. It's just one big smooth gameplay. So right here I just have a little like a funny joke. So for the Conan Cosmo Creed 2, the trunks and glove actually represent the actor's character nationality. For example, as you can see Creed, he's wearing the black American flag trunks, and Drago's wearing the white and red trunks. So they're both representing, where they come from and what they stands for. So they're pretty much Russia versus USA. Similar to Creed 2, the trunks for both Isaac Frost is pretty much representing him because his last name is Isaac. Sorry, his last name is Frost. Therefore, pretty like ice. That's why he chose the bright blue and white. And Andre Bishop is pretty much rocking whatever he's been rocking with, and also tattoos. You can tell he have a more extreme tattoo. Isaac have a more extreme tattoo because he's more extreme in a way, and Andre Bishop is a lot more subtle. So the camera for Creed 2, there's always a view from the fighter's back, and it's also a mix between high and mid-level angle shots. And this shows the characters' emotions, and I believe as they're during exchange of the fight. And as you can see right here, that pretty much during the fight scene, as they're exchanging, you can tell that the view is always from either Drago's back or Creed's back. As you can see, the high shot right there is actually from Creed's back, and this just like the editing, it shows the player's emotions and the damage they're going through. It just makes the fight way more exciting. As you can see in another example here, as Creed looking at his corner, and then also the camera then transitions lower to the opposite corner, and this actually shows what's going on inside and outside the ring. So it creates more of a there are mixed emotions of what's going on, not just inside but also outside of the fighting ring. The camera for final action. This is more like a third person view. The camera actually follows a player as you move along the ring. And whenever a big shot lands, the camera tends to tilt a little bit. And pretty much this just creates the intensity and it gives a more like a visual impact of the punches itself. As you can see example right here, as you can see both fighters are moving and the camera is following both fighters. And whenever a big shot lands, you can see that the camera shakes a little bit. And this you can tell it makes the game looks a lot cooler, a lot more enjoyable, and also create a pretty good visual impact of how powerful the punch is. In similarity, the camera pretty much zooms in and slows down near knockouts. As you can see, when Andrew Bishop knocking out Isaac Frost, as he's getting closer, it gets slower and slower. And as he's getting knocked out on his way down, the camera shakes a lot more harder, pretty much showing the even more powerful impact of the punches. So in conclusion, I believe that FightNight Champion is mostly for gameplay experience. Therefore, they pretty much focus on inside the ring and the fighters only. While Creed 2 shows both on the like inside and outside the ring of the situations and emotions. But I think both did a very good job showing whether it's giving a gaming experience or a movie experience. And here's my resources. Thank you very much.